Hi, my name is Tovar. I am in my senior year at Hiram Johnson High School. For the most part, I have always considered myself as an ordinary average high school student. I am a member of the Bible Club. I like to hang out with friends, go to the movies, just like any ordinary teenager. For the past 3 years, I've been enrolled in the Criminal Justice Academy, where I hold the officer position of lieutenant. One day soon, I hope for a career in law enforcement. But on this road I travel, it appears I may have a long way to go. I never thought my status as a U.S. citizen would come into question, but on January 3rd, 2007, my life drastically changed. January 3rd is my birthday. In January 2007, I turned 18. And my 18th, I'm always going to remember that day, my 18th birthday. We had so many plans that day. I was to go to Disneyland for the first time and, have the best day of my life, and everything just turned around. Everything changed. We were in LA, we celebrated New Year's there, and we were going to spend my birthday there and then go home. And I was supposed to be back home on January 5th. It was just me and my friend, his sister, her 2 kids, and they'd never been to Disneyland either. And we were all excited. I've never been to LA before, and my friend, he's been to LA, but just like he'd never been to Disneyland. He's never drove like too far south and stuff. Got caught up, I guess, watching everything new, and we forgot. I don't know, we didn't forget where we were going, but we got lost, we got distracted, and we missed the exit. I don't know how it happened, we just took that exit. And I will always remember that exit. It was Pulgas Road. Forever, it's gonna be in my head. So we took this exit to try to go back north, and we made a stop, and then my friend looked to his left, and he saw the Border Patrol inspection, and he decided to go back on freeway south again. We got back on South 5, and we were driving for a minute, and then I guess one of the Border Patrols, like the cars that were behind us, and then they like flashed the light, but when they flashed the light, I thought it was the police officers. When he came closer, that's when I realized that that wasn't a cop car. It was a Border Patrol officer, and I'm always gonna remember that day. It's just stuck to me forever. He comes to the driver's side, and then he says, your citizenship, well, my friend just had like his ID and his driver license, and his sister had her ID and stuff, but I didn't have anything because I was never used to carrying it around, and my mom always said you have to carry around an ID, but I never listened to her. So they asked us if we were citizens, and we said no. They just put me and my friend in one car, and another car came, and they took his sister and her 2 kids. I was so scared. At first I couldn't believe it. I was so shocked when it happened, when I saw them. I was so shocked. I didn't know it was me. It was happening to me. I thought I was just dreaming the whole time. They pull us up to the station, we get out, we go inside, and they start questioning me. I was trying to keep my calm, but the moment they asked me, when's your birthday, I broke down. I couldn't take it. They asked me, when's your birthday, and I said, January 3rd. And they realized it was that day. And I couldn't stop it. I had to cry because it was supposed to be my day. And this happened. They realized, oh my gosh, today's your birthday. One of the officers even said happy birthday. I mean, that just made me cry even more because it wasn't a happy birthday. They asked me more questions about where I was from. I wasn't able to give them a lot of answers where I was from and how I got here because I came to the U.S. when I was 1 year old. And having that age, I really didn't remember. I have no memory of that actually. I just remember always being here. And I thought this was where I was from, you know, all this time. And then it just suddenly hit me right there. Like, I don't know anything about where I was born. I just know like the name. I don't even know the city I was born in. I remember. And then I guess when I told him, you know, after I got fingerprinted, another officer came over and he said, so you've been here 17 years? And I was like, yeah, you know, I've been here all that time. I tried to calm down and everything. It was hard. I remember he started asking me questions about school, you know, like he didn't believe that I had actually been here all that time. He didn't believe that it was Laura Tovar, that she been here 17 years, that she was a senior in high school. I was fingerprinted and photographed. Afterwards, we were all locked up in a cell waiting for an officer to pick us up to take us, well, to take my two friends to the borderline and me to the detention home to wait for the judge. At 7 or 8 at night, an officer came. She looked at her files and they put us in a van. We drove them off to the borderline, and then from there they drove me to another station in Chula Vista station. There I spent the night, and then the next day they drove me off to San Diego Correctional Facility. I remember the moment when I got there to that facility, I thought I was going to see the judge like that same day or the next day. But then when I see that they're processing me, they're taking me to the lab to get tested. Like they did a pregnancy test and they tested for TB. And then they give me my uniform, which is a blue uniform. And they gave me my stuff, a toothbrush, my pillowcase, my blanket. That's when I realized that I was staying there for a while. It wasn't going to be the next day I was leaving. It wasn't going to be the next 2 days. I felt right there that it was going to take a while for me to get back home. I ordered a notebook, I remember, and I couldn't wait a whole week to write because every time when I was at home, every time I felt lonely, like I had to say something, I would always write in my journal. So right there had so much inside of me that I wanted to put down on paper. So I remember I started just writing on a piece of paper that I had in my stuff. And then when I got my notebook, I remember filling most of the pages out. It was important for me to write because I knew that if I got out of there, I was going to share my story to other people and I was going to inspire them some way, and I wanted them to know what it had been like in that place. And most importantly, because I remember I wrote in one of my entries while I was in there how many of us here, like, we're free, and we put a lot of people down when they're immigrants. We just say like a lot of racial comments and just stuff like that, put downs. But if they were in a situation like that, they would understand what many immigrants go through. A lot of people think of immigrants as people just from Mexico, but when I was in that place, that facility, I met people from all over the world, like Korea, South America, Africa. It was just people all over the world. Since I've been raised here, I pretty much fit in, but it was just a piece of paper that makes me different, and it's that piece of paper that makes me feel like I don't belong here and that I'm a criminal. I was really discouraged by many of the women there because most of them said there's no hope. I mean, there's no hope for us. We've been here a year, we've been here 7 months. You're just gonna be like us. And I took all that, and I mean, at first, you know, they made me feel bad, like, you know, they may be right, and there may be no hope for me. But I did what I had to do, what I felt was right, and what I felt was gonna get me out of there. I decided to write to my counselor there, and he's like your immigration officer. He's just an immigration officer who takes care of a certain group of women there. And I decided to write to him. I went to the law library they have in there, and I typed the letter. I just told him about I'm at school, I'm a senior, I'm part of the law academy. You know, I'm only 35 credits away from graduating, you know. We have finals at school, and I don't want to miss that. I told him about all the things I did at school, at home, and I wrote that letter, and many women said, you know, what's the point? He's not going to write to you. You'll hear from him next month, you know. I was like, no. I remember having a conversation with one of the women there, and she said, you know, it's going to take a long time for him to write back. You may be gone. You may be in Mexico by the time he writes back. And I said, no, I bet I'll have results in less than a week. But I was just joking around. I was really scared though, because I was like, you know, what if she's right? But, you know, I just said, no, it's going to take less than a week. And I remember I woke up on like 2 days after I sent him that letter, and they said Tovar 207, and I just jumped out of my bed, and it was him. He personally came down there, and he told me I was gonna be released, and I was so happy. At first he didn't say like straight out, you know, you're gonna be released, but he said that he was willing to let me go, let me out on an OR, and that meant no bail, and it was just my word that I was going to go to my court. And I said, I just made that promise, and the next day I was released in the morning, and it felt so good that, you know, I showed most of those women that discouraged me that it was possible, you know, to have hope and just never give up and try your best at whatever it is, you know. And I'm just so glad to be home, and I get scared every time I have to go back to San Diego for courts, because I don't know what the outcome would be, but I'm gonna keep trying my best at whatever it is that I have to do and never give up.